Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Corsace Closed. We have another good matchup ahead of us, the second to last matchup of the semifinals, Utami versus Mystia. This will be our only match today. I will be one of your commentators this evening, Chili Repair, and I will be joined by the ravishing Monko 2K.
Hey, man. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Exciting matchup today.
Yes, both very well-rounded players, and they've made it this far. I actually don't know what to expect from this matchup because they are so well-rounded.
You know, I gotta stick it with you on that one. Utami has really showed up lately, kind of the newer blood in the tournament scene, but has really made a name for himself rather quick. #1 qualifier spot by a decent margin over everybody else. But Mystia's done well for himself to make it this far. So we'll see what goes on at the starting of this match here. We know Mystia got knocked down to the losers bracket a little while ago. So has been kind of running through after the quarterfinals, I believe. Got knocked to the losers bracket by Nissan? Had to fight through Mouse Easy yesterday to make it to this stage here. And now he's here to face off against Utami, who is able to defeat Bartek. I'm trying to make sure I have everything else set here, yeah.
Fair warning, internet's not so good, so if I disappear, that's what happened.
Life happens. That's what it's all about.
Alright, looks like we've already gotten through the bans. I did miss them. I think Utami banned Nomad 1, which is unsurprising if you look at the two matches that Mystia and Utami previously played. That was the only map in common where Mystia won. I think he got a 1 miss on that. Utami also did not do too poorly, but did not get a 1 miss. I think he got like 700k.
Ooh, so still very good score.
Yeah, that's the level we're dealing with up here.
It really is. You know, you start to hit the semifinals level, and some of these players are still making FCs look viable. Picks and bans are going to be up on your screen right now, as we did miss the first 3, but we did catch the first pick from Utami, Nomad 6. We're going to get right into it.
Alright, this is I guess it's just the Nomad 6. Not really much else to say about it. They did play this. They did both play this in their previous matchups, and Utami, by score, did win, but not by a very significant margin. I think they both got around 200k. That being said, I believe Utami got like 92% and Mystia got like 86%. Not entirely sure what happened there, but this should be fairly even.
Yeah, Mystia's gonna find a couple of early breaks, whereas Utami's gonna kind of hold the combo here through the beginning section. Does finally find a miss, but the accuracy advantage is going to mean quite a bit.
Also, do not mind the player labels. I believe they are incorrect.
Well, I guess we're working on fixing it. There we go.
There we go.
Thank you, streamer. We appreciate it. Always doing the good work.
But yeah, like I said, although they have fairly low scores, as you can quite clearly see, Utami is much more comfortable on this than Mystia. After all, it is his own pick, so he had to have something to make him want to do this.
Oh, it does hit that.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a shutout.
Yeah.
No biggie for Mystia, though.
Big improvement from the other day's score from Utami here, looking really solid. Mystia with a bunch of chain misses here.
Yeah, things going not so well for Mystia in the end here. Utami, I think, nearly doubling, or maybe just doubling his score from the last match, and yep, that will be a solid first point for him.
Look at that, 482,000 to 139,000. If that doesn't tell you how comfortable Utami is on these gimmick maps, I really don't know what will. 6 misses to 31 misses, and almost a little over 8% actually accuracy difference between the two. So Utami's front and gimmick today by quite a bit.
I also have a sneaking suspicion that he will try to get some speed picks in. I did see he did quite well on the 2 DTs that he picked yesterday, whereas Mystia did not do too poorly. He did beat Mouse easy, but definitely not on the level of Utami quite on this pool, and he is going to be going for Hard Rock 2.
I think this is probably one of the smarter picks that Mystia could have started off with. As good as Utami is across the board, and he has absolutely shown his dominance throughout most skill sets that you could ever possibly take to your advantage as a tournament player, I think Hard Rock is definitely one of those places where Utami just falls slightly short of other top tournament players in terms of consistency. So we'll see if that holds true. Mystia is normally one of the front runners for maps like this. CS 6.5. This is a difficult one as well. A lot of wide spacing, awkward angles, and high velocity sliders. Slider break from Mystia there. Utami's gonna hold the combo. Same accuracy for the two of them, but the score lead's gonna go over to that right side now.
And this is a fairly short map, so that is going to be a very significant break as long as Utami holds. Yeah, so far both players actually playing this quite well. If you ignore Mystia's first miss, that's really the only thing making up the score difference. Both players with about the same accuracy, and Mystia actually finds another break just at the halfway point.
You really do, yeah.
Cold. Oh, okay, never mind.
That happens.
Yeah.
Well, you really do have to feel bad for both of them. It's just been slider breaks, I think, for both of Mystia's breaks and Utami's one.
We'll have a little Kirby mix style, as you could call that. Okay, there are some real misses. I think Utami got a slider break, but Mystia with his first miss. Last third of the map, and Utami is still leading by 80,000 score with the combos reset.
There's really not much that Mystia can do about this right now, especially on a pick like this. Hard Rock 2, the note density is just not there to make a comeback in the last quarter unless Utami really finds some way to mess this up. S rank still.
Yep, that's 2 slider breaks for him, I think. Mystia also on a 1 miss, a couple of slider breaks, so yeah, although they both played this very well, like I said, both players extremely well-rounded, but Utami just overall slightly better at almost everything, really.
Yeah, unfortunate, but the break point does come out by a small margin, but those early slider breaks from Mystia doing the damage there, I actually think that he would have had a point on this if not for those early breaks, because Utami was trading quite often in the ending. Just happens the placement kind of did him in there.
Well, that is how Osu goes sometimes. Little bit of an unlucky break in the wrong place, and suddenly you're down by, what was that, like 80k?
Yeah.
And yep, Utami going for DT2. Like I said yesterday, he went ham mode on these, and I think today is probably not going to be any different. But Mystia, also very fast, and I don't think he played this yesterday, so maybe something to bring out as a surprise.
Yeah, I think Utami has over time proven that, you know, earlier in his tournament performances, maybe last year or about a year ago when he first started to really show up in the tournament scene, kind of came out as this really good reading and gimmick player and has started to come into form as this dominant high BPM stream player whose stamina really doesn't give out. So this is a very smart pick, especially on a Dynamo map. Then again, Mystia, a strong speed player, but it is all about the stamina here.
There is a little bit of a tricky finger control section somewhere towards the end of the map, and this map is very short, so if Utami were to find just a little bit of an unlucky break, Mystia might be able to just cheese a victory off of that alone. As you can see, both of them not having any trouble with these bursts thus far, but the map is far from over.
Just a lot of awkward aim patterns here. They're more dense than they look, and you can definitely feel it when you're playing through the map. Some of these sliders as well can prove to be unfortunate breakable points here, but nothing yet.
And actually, Utami is lagging. Okay, well, it doesn't matter anymore. Mystia finds a slider break on one of the repeat sliders. And there's about a third of the map remaining, but Utami is still holding strong. There is that finger control section I was talking about, both players hitting it. And yeah, now Utami just starts to run away with this because double time mode.
Yeah, Utami stream stamina, it really is endless, seemingly.
I think he is going to get the full combo here. There's really not much left in the map. Yep, and there you go. Utami with an FC on DT2. Not even a bad score from Mystia, but, you know, Utami doubled it anyways.
Yeah, really. A minute and 23 seconds on a DT pick, and there's unfortunately not a whole lot of room to find the misses that Mystia did. And against Utami, I guess, unfortunately, you're against one of the few players left in this tournament that could very consistently FC this map with their streaming ability. It all just comes down to, the likelihood of replicating that play. And with Utami's consistency throughout the entire tournament, and, again, you mentioned Mystia not putting up a bad score, just Utami, you can't really do much against that unless you're able to put up better accuracy on the full combo.
Right, well, this is an interesting pick. Mystia actually going for DT3 right after that destruction on DT2, but this is very different in style. Not so much bursts, it's actually, I think the hardest thing about this map is the accuracy factor, because it's swing, and the whole thing is sliders, basically. So, yeah.
I'll definitely let you explain this map over me, since this is more your forte.
Yeah. It is, like I said, swing. It's not exactly speed. Basically, the only thing that is speedy is the approach rate, I suppose. But you can see it's low BPM and some sliders. These sliders are a little bit tricky. I think Utami actually just broke on one of them. Those sliders with the tick in the middle. Really annoying to hit. But this is more about flow aim and accuracy. And as you can see, both players not having a fantastic time in this beginning part, although Mystia is faring significantly better than Utami.
Yeah, I think, something that's not talked about too often in tournaments is that once you get up to this level, 10.3 starts to become a little bit less of the difficult part of the map, except for on maps like this where it gets a little bit more technically intensive. The 10.3 generally tends to make it a fair bit more difficult than your standard 10.3 aim picks.
There are a couple of those aim patterns I was talking about, and here starts the swing portion, which both players are actually doing quite well on. They are acting much better than I thought they would. There are also a couple of 1/6 bursts, and so far, nobody's having any problem with those, although Mystia does find a break on one of the kick sliders.
Well, Utami was down in score, but he has to find another break before this section ends here, otherwise that's going to be a dangerous position here.
Yeah, that's a halfway point. Did Mystia just miss on that?
Yes. Okay. Oh, Utami missed on that, though.
Okay, well, about 30k score lead to work with here, but both players are resetting their combos. Definitely still winnable for Mystia. Half of the about a third of the map to go, and The map stays about the same difficulty throughout the end. Okay, that was not good for Mystia. Like you said earlier, the 10.3, usually not a problem on most picks unless it's something like this.
It
Sometimes
really
the
is.
density just trips people up, especially on these slower sections.
Big density, a lot of overlapping patterns, a lot of weird rhythms as well. A lot of slider breaks there from Mystia, you can see.
I think he's actually just having trouble with the approach rate. Meanwhile, Utami going to just hit this ending, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I guess not.
One slider break. Does hit the back and forwards there. Another miss from Mystia, gonna close it out into the ending here. Utami, 421,000 to another 350,000 from Mystia. And that's the 4th point in a row for Utami.
Yep, another pretty close one. That really came down to Mystia's questionable misses on the slower sections. I think he definitely could have made that closer, maybe even taken the victory if he didn't get those. But yeah, things happen. 10.3 is pretty fast. But that will be Utami's second breakpoint.
Yeah, we're starting to get into dangerous territory here. It's not over yet. We've seen Mystia come back from worse deficits than a 0-4, but that could very quickly become a 0-5 if Utami picks correctly here. And it's going to be the hidden 3, something that Utami is definitely a front runner in here.
Yep, and again, we enter this territory of something Utami is very good at, but Mystia is no slouch at either. So, star rating when you see it. Actually, I don't think that is anywhere on the stream, but yeah. Utami, probably going to have a fairly good time on this one, but I could see Mystia pulling something out of this too. I think they actually played this one both in their last matches. I can pull up those scores in a second.
Yeah, we'll see. Early breaks from Mystia here. I know we saw this in a lot of matches.
It's 300k to 400k, Utami with the 400k, but low miscounts from both of them. They're definitely winnable by Mystia. And right now, Utami is actually not having a very good time. That's 3 breaks so far, I think, and Mystia is still holding on to the FC.
Yeah, lots of misaims on the linear jumps for Utami here, and a 300 to 400k scoreline is completely changeable on a map like this. We've seen a lot of players traditionally have a lot of trouble with the streams later on in the map, attack hidden onto it, and this BPM starts to be a little bit uncomfortable. 236 is decently fast with some of the length of these. Ooh, a lot of hundreds on these streams. It's kind of mentioned earlier. The BPM really does it. Yeah, there goes Mystia. And Utami's just comfortable.
Yep. Despite those early misses, Utami clearly showing he is more prepared for this pick today. Still half the map to go, but that accuracy difference is all you really need to look at. Mystia not having a good time on these streams.
You know, despite this being a pretty aim-oriented map with some of the patterns in here, the difficulty really lies in those streams at 236 BPM. We saw this very similar outcome or something akin to this in the Fiery Rage versus Taquito matchup, where it really just comes down to one player being much more comfortable with the stamina on here. And we talked about Utami's almost endless stamina earlier, and pushed 99% for a second there on these streams. Still going.
Yeah, he's already performed much better than he did in his match yesterday versus Bartek. Talking about Utami here. And he's just still going. Okay, no longer going, but still. Basically double Mystia's score at this point with the last third of the map to go. And really, no window of opportunity for Mystia to come back from this. No combo of his own, really. And the map really doesn't let up, and yet actually he's going to find another combo break. Combo resets across the board.
Yeah, misread on that triple there. Well, into the ending quarter of the way left in the map here, and unless Utami stops playing, unfortunately.
You know, I don't even know if him not playing would make him lose.
Yeah. It's actually a very good point there. There's really just not enough. He is finding quite a few misses, though. So does Mystia.
Alright, I think... Was that a slider break? Didn't quite catch it, but in either case, Mystia not going to be able to make a really good stand here. This one was a little more one-sided than the previous few picks.
Utami is just casually double S-ing these streams.
And Mystia got a double S of 50s.
I mean, unfortunately, those streams are just so long, and after that entire map, your stamina is just gone if you are not comfortable.
Well, that is a way to get your match point. 5 points for Utami now on Mystia's pick, and they've played every single mod. And Mystia just hasn't found any luck. But he is going to try his hand at Hard Rock 3 once more. Hard Rock once more. Going for Hard Rock 3. And I actually don't know what this is.
This is... Oh, yes, Trapolo. This is a very interesting Hard Rock pick because it is not something that you see thrown into Hard Rock until later stages in most tournaments. It's that really gimmicky tech, though. It's aim-oriented, Realizy-style Hard Rock, and I think we mentioned earlier that Mystia was generally favored on the 6.5 pick. Unfortunately, let that slip away here. We'll see if he can find a little bit of a recovery with the awkward nature of this map, but Utami's looked really solid on consistency today.
Yep, I think he's definitely played better today than he did in his last match versus Bartek. As for Mystia, maybe a little bit slightly worse, but not by any significant margin. It's just Utami is kind of a beast.
Yeah, really. Those sliders are ruthless. Mystia finding a break finally. Unfortunate.
Utami hold. Not going to be good for him. This map is only 2 minutes long. A lot of short maps being picked today, but Utami still holding onto that combo. Whereas Mystia finds another break. Approach the halfway point. What is he doing?
What is happening? He hits the doubles, hits the space patterns. Oh, finally breaks.
Is he double tapping those doubles? Couldn't tell. He got a bunch of 100.
Yeah, he slider broke after as well.
You know, actually, the score difference is not too big at this point. The Mystia could feasibly make a comeback if he hit some of these.
Yeah, unfortunately, took a couple of seconds of cursor dancing there. You could kind of see he was really loose with the aim. And the sliders are, again, unrelenting in this map. There's really not much you can do after some of those longer ones here. They both did well to hit the first set of them, but it really is just down to the wire here. Last section of the map. Mystia has to hope that Utami just falls apart here. Unfortunate, though. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Yep, and that is going to be it. Utami with the 6-0 sweep against Mystia. Valiant effort from Mystia, but in the end, couldn't get a point on the board.
Very unfortunate, but it can happen. I definitely think that we have seen some very solid performances from Mystia in many tournaments previous to this one, and unfortunately today just did not seem like his day. Or rather, maybe it was just Utami's day. But regardless, that is the final scoreline of a 6-0. We'll give a massive kudos to Utami for pulling out some of the scores that he did in this match. Very impressive overall. Not many players could chalk up to that performance that are in this tournament. And Mystia, again, with some very respectable scores, just not quite enough to get a point on the board against a absolutely dominant Utami today. But fear not, there is one more match of the semifinals this week. It'll be at 22 UTC tomorrow, Wednesday, June 23rd. There will be the final matchup of the weekend, which is going to be I'm a Fancy Lad versus Nissan. So the other Brazilian Mystia there. And that is the final match of the semifinals. Of course, we'll go on to the finals the weekend after as we come into the closing weeks of the tournament. But I digress. We thank everyone for stopping by for the stream today, especially for this weekday match. And we have one more for you tomorrow, so please come back and join us for the conclusion of the semifinals. That is it for us today. Congratulations to Utami for advancing to the next stage of the tournament, and we will see you all tomorrow.